Hello my schoolers and welcome to the My School channel. My name is Angela and in this video we are going to be tackling the English language Jamb past question for the year 2023. Please stay with us, don't go anywhere and we'll be right back. Welcome back to the My School channel. In this video, we're going to be tackling questions 1 to 30. Let's begin with question 1. So this question says, choose the word that has the same rhyme scheme as the following word, battle. So what we're going to do is to transcribe each of the following words. We'll begin with the word battle. It can be transcribed as this. The word raffle can be transcribed as this. The word latter can be transcribed as this. The word bitter can be transcribed as this. And finally, the word kettle can be transcribed as this. So from the transcription, we can see that the word battle and kettle rhyme with each other because they end with the syllable to. So the answer to this question is option D. Now let's move on to question 2. The question says, the words in capital letter have the emphatic stress. Choose the option to which the given sentences relate. I bought my wife a red dress. So you can see from previous videos, emphatic stress has to do with the placements of greater stress on a particular word in a sentence. So in this particular sentence, the stress is placed on the word wife, as in I bought my wife a red dress. So the rule of emphatic stress states that we should select the question that has a different word from the emphasized word. So we are going to look at each of the following questions. So for option A, did I buy my husband a red dress? You can see husband is different from the word wife. But in other options, in option B, you can see did I buy my wife a red shoe? You can see wife is the same thing as the response. Then for option C, did he buy my wife a red dress? Wife is also similar. Or for option D, did I buy my wife a black dress? Wife is similar as well. So for this question, the correct option is option A. Did I buy my husband a red dress? The reason is because it is different from wife. Question number 3. This question is based on the Life Changer novel. Dr. Samuel Johnson is also known as Dash. A. Sam Jason. B. Sam John. C. All of the above. D. John Sam. So the correct answer to this question is Sam John. You can see this in page 19 of the novel, when Umi's husband casually refers to Dr. Samuel Johnson as Sam John, his friend who helped Umi get an admission. Question number 4. Choose the word that has the same consonant sound as the one represented by the letters underlined. Wash. So the letters underlined here is S and H, which is pronounced as sh. We have the sh sound here. So let's review the options. For the word treasure, we are actually focusing on this particular letter and it is pronounced as zh. In the word occasion, we still have the same zh sound. But for the word nation, it is sh. And lastly, for the word equation, we have the zh sound. Again, we are focusing on this particular letter for each of the options. And so the correct option to this is C, because they both have the sound sh. So the final answer is C. So now question 5. In each of the following sentences, the word that resolves the emphatic stress is written in capital letters. From the options lettered A to D, choose the one to which the given sentence is the appropriate answer. Daddy plays tennis on Saturday afternoons. Again, we have a stress question. So what we have to do here is to look for the question that does not have that particular word in capital letter. The word in capital letter here is tennis, because tennis is stressed. Daddy plays tennis on Saturday afternoons. So what we have to do is to look for the option that does not have the word tennis. In option A, we can see tennis. Same with option B. We have that in option C as well. But in option D, we see the word cricket. So, does Daddy play cricket on Saturday afternoons? No, Daddy plays tennis on Saturday afternoons. So, the answer to this question is option D. Now to question 6. In this question, select the option that best explains the information conveyed in the sentence. If it were here, it could be more fun. So this particular sentence means that it was not there, but assuming it was there, it would have been much more enjoyable. So we're going to look at each of these options and we'll find the one that best conveys that meaning. So for option A, it says it did not show up and so the occasion lacked much fun. This looks more like that expression that was conveyed because it did not show up. If it were here, it shows that it did not show up. It did not show up and so the occasion lacked much fun. This means that there was fun, but it was not as much as it would have been if it was present at the occasion. So it looks like it's similar, but let's look at other options. It was expected, but did not show up to liven the occasion. Nothing in this particular sentence says it was expected, so we can take that option out. For option C, there was no fun because it was not present. So the expression said it could have been more fun, which means that there was fun at the occasion. So this one too can be cancelled out. For option D, it was being expected to supply more fun. Again, nothing in the sentence says that there was expectation. So you have to cancel that one out. So the correct answer to this is option A, because it was not present, but assuming it was, the occasion would have been much more enjoyable. Question 7. In this question, select the option that best explains the information conveyed in the sentence. Though he was our elected president, he often takes a rather jaundiced view of our problems. So what we're focusing on in this particular expression is jaundiced view of our problems, right? So the word jaundice means biased or prejudiced. So we're going to look for the option that is nearest in meaning to the word biased or prejudiced. So let's look at option A. It takes a rather hazy view of our problems. Hazy in this particular situation means unclear. So you can cancel that out. So for option B, it takes an unfavorable position concerning our problems. So unfavorable is similar to jaundiced because jaundiced means biased and prejudiced. And when you are biased, you are taking a position that does not favor everybody. So unfavorable is similar to jaundiced. So let's look at other options though. It takes a rather forceful view of our problems. The word forceful means that it's taking a position that is impactful to the listeners. This has nothing to do with jaundiced. So we can cancel that out. So for option D, it takes a sickly view of our problems. So in this case, sickly means unhealthy view. So unhealthy might look a bit similar to the word jaundiced. But in this case, the word unfavorable is much more similar to the word jaundiced. So we can take this out. So the correct answer to this question is option B. It takes an unfavorable position concerning our problems. So now for question 8. From the words lettered A to D, choose the word that has the same consonant sound as the one represented by the letter on the line below. So the letter on the line below is P, which is pronounced as P. So we can see it in the transcription. We have pin. So let's transcribe other options in order to know the appropriate answer. So the word psychology can be transcribed as this. The word pneumonia can be transcribed as this. So for the word pseudonym, it can be transcribed as this. Finally, the word pragmatic can be transcribed as this. So from the transcription, we can see that the only word that has the P sound is this word, pragmatic. So the correct answer is D, pragmatic. So let's move on to question 9. Choose the appropriate stress pattern from the options. The stressed words are in capital letters. So the word is fluency. fluency. So the stress for nouns is usually on the first syllable, as in the word fluency. So the correct option is D, fluency. So let's move on to question 10. Choose the word that is opposite in meaning to the underlined word. Victor played the role of a haughty prince. So in this case, haughty means to feel arrogantly superior, and the opposite of haughty is to be humble. So for the options, we have option A haunted, B, a modest, C, a disturbed, and D, an angry. So option A, C, and D have nothing to do with being humble. So the most appropriate answer to this question is B, a modest. So for question 11, choose the word or group of words that is most nearly opposite in meaning to the underlined words. The gradual process of transition to civilian rule came to an dash end. So the word gradual is the one that is underlined, and it means to take place or progress slowly. And the opposite of that means to happen unexpectedly. So let's look at the option. We have unhappy, unnecessary, abrupt, and anticipated. So the correct option is C, abrupt, because it means to happen unexpectedly. So we have C, abrupt. So for question 12, fill in the gap in the sentence below with the appropriate option. Peter and Jane love each other, dash the difficulties they face. We have A, therefore, B, despite, C, however, D, besides. So the first thing we're going to notice is that we're looking for a conjunction to fill in the sentence. So we have two clauses here. Peter and Jane love each other and the difficulties they face. So the conjunction we're looking for to join these clauses together is a contrasting conjunction. So from the option, we can see that therefore and besides are not contrasting conjunction. We have despite and however, which are contrasting conjunction. We have to look for the one that is most appropriate to fill that gap. So let's try each of them. Let's first of all take these ones out. So let's try despite. Peter and Jane love each other despite the difficulties they face. That sounds good. Let's try however. Peter and Jane love each other, however the difficulties they face. That doesn't make sense, so we'll cancel that out. So the most appropriate conjunction to fill in that gap is despite, B. Okay, let's move on to question 13. Choose the option that is nearest in meaning to the underlined word. I was skeptical about the story she told me. Skeptical is what is underlined. And to be skeptical means to be doubtful or to be unsure. So let's look at the option. We have doubtful, convinced, ignorant, and confused. Doubtful is closest in meaning to skeptical because it means to be unsure. Convinced, however, is the opposite of skeptical. It means to be sure, to be certain. Ignorance means to know nothing about the particular situation, so it has nothing to do with being skeptical. And confused means to be unsure about the details. It's not exactly similar to the word skeptical. So the word that is most similar to the word skeptical is A, doubtful. Question 14. This question is based on the Life Changer novel. Dash is the euphemism used for cheat notes. A, salvation notes of rescue. B, notes of deliverance. C, holy notes of rescue. And D, notes of salvation. So the answer to this is D, notes of salvation. And it can be found on page 52 of the novel, when Selma told Kola to scribble and pass her a note of salvation when she had nothing to write. So option D is the final answer. Question 15. This question is based on the Life Changer novel. Why did Omar say he passed his SSC by no means a small feat? A, all of the above. B, because he failed other subjects but passed maths and English. C, because he registered with one of the miracle centers. And D, because he passed excellently on his first attempt. So the correct answer to this is D, because he passed excellently on his first attempt. This can be found on page 8 of the novel, when he was bragging to his sister Tima about how he passed excellently on his first attempt, even when other students went to miracle centers and still failed their examinations. So the answer is D, because he passed excellently on his first attempt. Question 16. Choose the option that has the same vowel sound as the one represented by the letters underlined. So we have naked. The letter underlined is the letter E, and it's pronounced as E in this case, as you see in the transcription, naked. Then the first option is friend, which can be transcribed as this. Then we have the word bead, which is transcribed as this. We have the word fed, which is transcribed as this. And lastly, we have the word bead, which is transcribed as this. So one thing to note is that when you have more than one vowel in the middle of the word, it is usually a longer sound as opposed to the short one. You can see they are similar, but the difference is here. So this is one thing to note when you're preparing for your examinations. For this answer, however, the answer is bead, because we have the similar sound E, the short E sound in both of them. So the correct option is D, bead. Number 17. From the list of words in A to D, choose one that best describes the sentence. James and Henry were daggers drawn when I knew them. This means that the A, were always angry with each other. B, always wore daggers. C, were good at drawing daggers. And D, were fighting everybody. So what we're going to look at in this expression is this, a daggers drawn. This is an idiomatic expression that means to be bitterly hostile with someone else. So we're going to look for something that matches that explanation. So we have A, we're always angry with each other. That seems more likely to be the answer, but we can look at the other options. Always wore daggers. It can mean that because it's kind of like a metaphor. It does not say exactly what it means. It's an idiom. So that one is not the answer. Then we have C. We're good at drawing daggers. Again, it's not literal. It's an idiom. And then lastly, D. We have we're fighting everybody. This can be the answer because we see the word everybody here. And here we can see it's James and Henry that we are daggers drawn with each other. So the most appropriate response to this is A. We're always angry with each other. Do you know you can take practice questions with our simulated Jamb CBT past questions? All you need to do is to click on the link in the description below. This will take you to the My School website where you can download the My School mobile app for your Android devices and the My School software for your laptops and computers. Please go ahead and start practicing. Now on to question 18. This question is based on the Life Changer novel. Who among Salma's roommates was reserved and withdrawn, yet generous to a fault? So the answer to this question is Ngozi. Ngozi was always described as reserved, introverted, and generous to a fault. It was her generosity that leads her roommates to develop a strong bond. It is also because of her that they started cooking together as a small family. So the correct answer to this is option A, Ngozi. I believe you're enjoying this content. If yes, please do not forget to click on the like button, click on the subscribe button, and lastly, tap on the notification bell to get informed as soon as we release our next videos. So now let's move on to question 19. Choose the word that has the same rhyme scheme as the word below, day. So what we're going to do is we're going to transcribe each of the words so that we can know which one of them rhyme with each other. So for day, it can be transcribed as this. The word there can be transcribed as this. The word anime can be transcribed as this. The word flight can be transcribed as this. And lastly, the word ball can be transcribed as this. So from the transcription, we can see that they and anime rhyme with each other because they end with the diphthong A. So the correct answer to this question is option B, anime. Question 20. In this question, fill each gap with the most appropriate option from the list provided. Without our relentless campaigns, we might dash sure of victory in the race for the National Assembly. So in this case, what we are looking for is a tense that helps to express how something that happened in the past is affecting what is going on in the present. This is because we are talking about how their relentless campaign helped them to get a victory in the race for the National Assembly. So in this case, we are going to look for the present perfect tense because the present perfect tense is what helps us to explain how actions in the past affect events that is going on in the present. So In this case, we are going to choose the option B. The reason for this is that we have the present perfect tense here, have been, as opposed to C, where you have had been, which is the past perfect. And have been, that doesn't make sense in this particular situation. So we take that out. And be never, that doesn't make sense as well. So another way to be sure of this is to make use of this option in the sentence. Without our relentless campaigns, we might never have been sure of victory in the race for the National Assembly. That makes sense. So the correct answer to this question is B, never have been. Now question 21. In this question, fill each gap with the most appropriate option from the list provided. We are all hungry. We dash anything to eat since morning. Again, we are looking for a tense that helps to relate what happened in the past to what is going on in the present. Again, we are looking for a present perfect tense. And so from these options, hadn't had, never had, haven't had, and didn't have, we can see that the one in the present perfect is haven't had. This "nt" means not. Okay, in order not to get confused. Have not had. So when we use it in that sentence, it has to make sense. So let's try reading it. We are all hungry. We haven't had anything to eat since morning. So that makes sense. So the correct answer to this is C, haven't had. Question 22. In this question, fill each gap with the most appropriate option from the list provided. To check desertification in the arid zones, dash trees should be planted. A, drought resisting, B, drought resistant, C, drought effective, and D, drought proof. So the correct phrase used in this particular context is drought resistant. The reason for this is that drought resistant trees are trees that are grown in the desert because they are adapted to that particular condition and can withstand the dryness of the desert. Okay, so it's a very common phrase that is used in this particular context. So B, drought resistant, is the correct answer. Question 23. From the options lettered A to D, choose the option that is most nearly opposite in meaning to the underlined word. My father is parsimonious. Parsimonious is the underlined word. And parsimonious means unwilling to spend money or use resources. So in this case, we have to look at each of the following options to see which one of them is opposite in meaning to that word. Thrifty is similar to parsimonious. It also means unwilling to spend money. Same thing goes for frugal. Frugal means unwilling to spend money or use resources. Generous, on the other hand, is the opposite of parsimonious because it means someone who is willing to spend money. Ungenerous is the opposite of generous, and so that cancels it out. So the correct answer to this question is C, generous. Question 24. Pick out the option with a different rhyme. A, raw, B, fall, C, growl, D, ball. So what we're going to do is to transcribe each of the following words. Raw can be transcribed as this. The word fall can be transcribed as this. The word growl can be transcribed as this. And lastly, the word ball can be transcribed as this. So from this, we can see that raw, fall, and ball, they rhyme with each other. So the answer to this is C, growl. Question 25. The primary stress is indicated by writing the syllable on which it occurs in capital letters. From the words lettered A to D, choose the one that has the correct stress. Category is the word. So for this particular word, it's a noun. So the stress is usually on the first syllable in a noun. So we'll pronounce it as category. So the correct answer to this question is option B, category. Question 26. This question is based on the Life Changer novel. Ummi is an Arabic word that is directly translated to mean A, my mom, B, my mother, C, grandmother, D, godmother. So the answer to this question is B, my mother. This can be found on page 3 of the novel, where we find out that Ummi is actually named after her paternal grandmother. So the answer to this question is B, my mother. Do you have any question? Please feel free to ask your question by clicking on the link in the description below. This will take you to the My School website where you can ask your question and the solution will be provided to you within a short period of time. Now moving on to question 27. From the words lettered A to D below, choose the word or group of words that is nearest in meaning to the underlined word as it is used in the passage. BC has become an indispensable member of staff. So in this case, the word indispensable means absolutely necessary or extremely important. So we're going to look for a word that is closest in meaning to the word indispensable. The word vital also means important. So that could be the answer. The word principal means main, chief. Dedicated means to be loyal, while effective means to be hardworking and to get results for the work that you do. So the closest in meaning to indispensable is vital because it means someone who is important. So our answer to this is A, vital. Do you have a better explanation or solution to any of these questions? Please feel free to share this information by going down to the comment section to indicate the question number and the solution you would like to share. Question 28. Choose the option that has the same vowel sound as letters underlined. Exist. So the vowel underlined is E, which is pronounced as E in this case. So we transcribe it as exist. Now let's transcribe the options to know which one of them has the same vowel sound as that letter. The word never is transcribed as this. The word I'll is transcribed as this. The word meant is transcribed as this. And finally, the word helicopter is transcribed as this. So, from the option, we can see that the answer to this question is helicopter because we have the E sound and the E sound here. Don't be confused by this. This is a diphthong. It's pronounced I'll. Okay? So the answer to this is D, helicopter. Question 29. This question is based on the Life Changer novel. In Lafayette, before a stranger is hosted or accommodated, permission must be requested and granted by dash. A, the Hakimi, B, the High Priest, C, the Governor, D, Community Oracle. So the answer to this question is A, the Hakimi. This can be found on page 20 of the novel, and the reason for this is that they are trying to avoid criminals or fugitives from justice from being harbored in their community, and so they had to enforce this law that they should inform the Hakimi before anybody is accommodated in the Lafayette community. So the answer is A, the Hakimi. Question 30. Choose the word that does not have the same vowel sound as the others. So we are going to transcribe each of the words to know which one has a different vowel sound. So the word shun can be transcribed as this. The word sun can be transcribed as this. The word son can also be transcribed as this. And lastly, the word short can be transcribed as this. So from this, we can see that the word short has a different vowel sound. So the answer is D, short. I believe you're enjoying this content. If yes, please do not forget to hit the like button, click on the subscribe button, and lastly, tap on the notification bell to get informed as soon as we release the next videos.